Here are 9 symptoms of a spiritual awakening that you might experience. The first most obvious symptom would be vivid dreams or lucid dreaming. When you're spiritually awakening, your third eye or pineal gland becomes very active, and so that can create very vivid dreams that you remember in the morning and during the day. Another set of symptoms is headache, dizziness, and vertigo, which is not explained by any health conditions. Vertigo has always been a very known sign for people who are psychic. A third symptom, maybe a bit lesser known, is actually an increased libido. As you're awakening, your energy centers activate, which then leads quite often to an increased libido, which then can also lead to quite vivid sex dreams. Number 4 on my list, which also was one of my first ones really, was having multiple déjà vus a day. Déjà vu is a sign that you're moving through the different dimension on a spiritual level. You may have noticed that you've had déjà vus your whole life, on and off, every once in a while, but when you're going through a spiritual awakening, you tend to have a lot of them, so the déjà vus are accelerating quite aggressively. Accelerated déjà vus is a sign that your mind is expanding and is accelerating and ascending. Sometimes people say it's a sign that you're moving through the different dimensions. Another symptom is feeling spacey and ungrounded. That happens because you're losing or loosening your connection with your 3D self, with your physical grounded self, as you're moving through the higher dimensions. And that leaves you with feeling spacey and ungrounded. Another peculiar symptom is waking up at 3 a.m. consistently, or maybe it's a different time for you, but for me it was 3:10 in the morning. I would consistently wake up during my spiritual awakening. The best time in a day to work with our third eye is between 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock in the morning. So it's quite natural that if this is your most active phase for your pineal gland, then you're going to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Another very interesting symptom is suddenly waking up to your body vibrating or even shaking, which is a sign that dormant genes in your body are being activated and you're being aligned with a higher version of yourself. It is basically your body is vibrating because it is changing on a molecular level. And interestingly, I had these type of symptoms already when I was a child. You can have multiple awakenings during your lifetime. I'm going to talk about this another time. Number 8 on the symptoms list is having a Kundalini awakening. If you never heard of Kundalini, it is the energy that travels through our body. It's usually coiled up at the base of our spine when it's dormant and we are asleep. And as we are awakening, the energy starts to uncoil and it travels through your body, usually from the bottom up all the way to the top of your head, if it gets there. The traveling of this Kundalini energy, which is your divine spark energy, sometimes gets confused with a heightened libido. And this is why I said in the beginning, one of the signs of a spiritual awakening is having an increased libido. And number 9 on my list is remembering past trauma and previous lives and future memory. Now, if at this point you don't know what's going on, you're going to think you're losing your mind. But what happens often in this phase is that you will remember your childhood experiences, including your trauma experiences that maybe you have never remembered. You will discover that you have suppressed and repressed memory. That is also a stage of the awakening phase. I hope this list of symptoms is helpful, and follow for more.